stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
This follows a whopping great big sell-off yesterday. The Dow was down 200 points. Your money's on the line. I see the Dow going up 20, 30 points. Somebody is buying something and the Dow's up 30. How about that?
How about that? But welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Yesterday we had this first drop in the stock market in a long time. Matter of fact, if you go and you measure back in June, on June 9th, when they engineered the money out of the big tech stocks, the FANG stocks, they need to put the money, transfer into the bank stocks to push the stock market up. Because remember, without the bank stocks leading, the market can't go anywhere. Why do you think they rigged these banks? Why do you think they let these banks get so big? Too big to fail, too big to jail. You got to focus on the banks because it's the banks that drive our entire stock market. And people don't understand even what the stock market is. Most people don't. You know, people really believe that the stock market is about going public, raising money, and what we call, capital investment. It used to be that way. We used to go in and there'd be all kinds of IPOs and we grew this country. People would have good ideas and they'd go to the stock market and they'd go public, and that's how you grew the economy. That's what made the economy. But that's all changed. The stock market no longer. You go there to get money to purchase equipment and tools and other assets, so you can produce goods and services. That's the way it used to be. No more. It was all about capital formation. And when you had good capital formation, when you used to go to market and raise capital, that's how the economy grew. That's how you got a good GDP of 3%, 4%, 5%. We can't even hit 2% because there's no more capital formation. That's what the market is not being used for anymore. The market is being used as a casino by the very wealthy, a handful of people. That's not what the market was about. It was about capital formation. No longer. They don't raise money for Caterpillar. It used to be the Caterpillar, company like Caterpillar, they went and raised money. And look what they did with Caterpillar. One of the largest producers of construction equipment in the world. And they would sell equipment to other companies. And those other companies would create goods and services in which jobs were created and wages created and savings created. And when savings created, small businesses could go to the bank and borrow money. It was a great thing, the stock market. What a great idea. It was organized, and that's where you went. That's where you went to raise money. Because you couldn't go to the banks. Most of the banks were too small. Or it was aggravating. You had to have 5, 10. All of a sudden you look at your business, you got 6, 7 banks you're dealing with. Drive you crazy. So you said, well, I'm going to go to public. So I can go borrow from the public. Get rid of all these banks. You can't have 5, 6, 7 banks and grow your business. Drive you out of your mind. You can't do it because each bank wants something different. Each bank has its own set of rules. When you go public, that's what grew the nation. It was organized, but no more. You know where the proof is? In the numbers. We used to, think about this. Right now, only $270 billion is raised, people go to the market to raise money for what they call capital formation. All capital formation means it's like capital investment. Same thing as capital investment. When a company makes all their money, we talk about it all the time, they no longer plow it back into their company to buy new machinery and IT, and that's what produces goods, and more they produce, that means wages go up. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. Well, it's the same thing. You don't go to Wall Street anymore to borrow money to build companies. You go to Wall Street to trade. Yeah, crazy. That's what's wrong with the country. That's why we can't grow our country. So you have $270 billion a year is on capital formation. $56 trillion is for trading. Are you nuts? Think about it. $56 trillion that Wall Street. $56 trillion so people can sell stock to each other. $56 trillion. It should be the opposite. It should be it's $56 trillion that are going into small businesses. No more. Can you imagine? And you want to know why the economy can't grow? And then you get these bills, the Frank Dodd bill, who even kills businesses. They're killing business. Remember this the other day? Dodd-Frank, he was talking about, listen the other day right here. He was talking about
10 years later, where do you think we are? Are we back on the precipice, or are we in a much better place?
Oh, we're in a much better place on two counts. First of all, the economy's done very well. That's despite the fact that two supposed job killers are still fully in effect, the financial reform bill and the health bill. In no way diminishing economic activity.
Are you kidding? The health care bill is a killer. Because it's providing nothing but part-time jobs. It's a killer. And he's talking about his bill. Are you kidding? The Dodd-Frank bill? That's one of the worst bills ever. That bill was created to kill small banks, community banks. That's why it was created, because they wanted to make sure that the big banks, the Dodd-Frank bill was set up to take care of the big banks on Wall Street, to make sure there wouldn't be any competition. They put in so many on these banks, these community banks, that they couldn't survive. So they had to merge with the big banks, or most of them went out of business, and the big banks just picked their assets up. That was what was behind the Dodd-Frank bill, was to kill small businesses, when small business was the solution to our recovery. Instead, they killed small businesses by killing community banks, by making them have so many regulations that strangled them. Can you imagine? They killed the solution to the recovery, which is small businesses. See, but Obama, he couldn't deliver the solution. The solution, which was real jobs, real job programs from small businesses. He couldn't do that. Because if he delivered jobs from small businesses, it contradicted his core principles, his ideology of socialism, which is rooted in the dream of a utopia where life is fair and all things are equal. So he couldn't do that because he'd be a hypocrite, to his people. Right in front of him, he had an opportunity to take this country and make it great again, because it's small businesses that generates the jobs, the high-paying jobs. Instead, he and Frank got together and killed small businesses by killing community banks. And then when you kill community banks and you kill small business, you kill jobs. When you kill jobs, you kill savings. When you kill savings, there's no place for a small businessman to go to borrow money to start a business or expand his business. What a bunch of lies. And he knew if he used small businesses as his solution, his base, the welfare recipient, would get grumpy and would not vote for him. So that's why he didn't use it. It's unbelievable. Dodd-Frank, you got to repeal that bill totally, just like Obamacare. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Vest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the MaxVest is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Even the experienced traders and investors need to keep learning to stay ahead. philsgang.com provides educational information about Phil's Gang products and services in many different ways. Daily live webinars hosted by Phil Grandy and technical charting experts help you understand and keep up with today's lively markets. Short videos, investing programs, and up-to-the-minute market alerts help you get up to speed with the market using Phil's Gang MaxVest 1000 stock charting software. We teach you an investing foundation that you seek to take the first steps towards achieving your personal financial goals. Visit philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, that's philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
They offer a free weekend seminar class. They put big dazzling names with their programs. But are they really just offering a sales pitch? At philsgang.com, we are the leader in teaching, informing, and helping members understand stock charting, investing in the stock market, and making true profits. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provides daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you could imagine. Plus, the philsgang.com friendly customer support team is available when you need us most. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market? Don't hesitate. Learn, invest, and make profits with philsgang.com. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, 877-600-4264. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Are you an investor or considering investing in the stock market? At philsgang.com, we offer a multitude of comprehensive stock investing services and professional support to our members. With philsgang.com, you get professional guidance on basic and advanced technical stock analysis. And just like the pros, you will gain the knowledge to recognize stock buy and sell patterns. Unlike other services available, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team host daily interactive live streaming investing webinar classes and programs. You get Phil's Gang timely notifications on your phone or mobile device. And all Phil's Gang material is archived so you will never miss a beat. Plus, philsgang.com offers the best real-time stock charts for day traders and long-term investors. With clear charts, in-depth reports, and Phil's recommendations, philsgang.com makes it easy to learn and monitor your portfolio anytime from anywhere. If you're passionate about securing your financial future, check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment is brought to you by the MaxVest 1000 stock charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
We've had some very, very strong global economic data, some very strong global earnings data, including in the U.S. So that's really been the backdrop for stocks.
Oh, yeah. Now, yesterday, remember yesterday told us the background for stocks and why the economy was doing so well is because of all the regulations, all the cuts regulations. now they're telling us something different. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The stock market is going up for one reason, because it's financially engineered to go up. It's that simple. If they want it to go up, it's going to go up. Look what happened. We had one day where the stock market pulled back. And we only pulled back 1.1%. And everybody's celebrating. Are you kidding me? 1.1%? We haven't pulled back. The last time we pulled back 1.1% was in June, and before that, I think it was something like 260 days. We haven't pulled back 1.1%. The market doesn't pull back anymore because they engineer it to make sure it doesn't. And that's a great thing if you're in the market. It's a great thing. Now, when the market pulled back the other day, just yesterday, there's no follow-through today. There is no follow-through. You got to wait. I told my gang this morning, I told them yesterday when the market started to drop, and thank God that we have our color-coded chart. I'll give you an example. The stock market, the S&P 500, was green, and it was green on July 13th. It was green on July 13th, and it stayed green up till August 7th. But on August 7th, it gave us a message. It gave us a message that the big institutions were starting to pull their money out. That was 3 days before we had the big crises. 3 days. That's the beautiful thing about charting. You get an advance warning. It tells you. And by the way, this is Friday. If you want to, I'll be happy to take a look at your stock. The number is 855-745-7445. 855-745-7445. We'll take a look at your stock. I'll put it on my chart. You don't have to be a gang member. 855-745-7445. So, the stock market pulled back. Everybody's worried about Korea. All of a sudden, people started to go into the bond market. People started to go in the gold market. And here's what's interesting about the gold market. The gold market, we were in the gold market long before everybody started to get in, especially yesterday, because the charts told us to be in. But I want to get back to the S&P. So the S&P, I'll give you a percentage. It went from $243 up to about $247. So it was on its way up. It started to go back up where money started to come in on July 13th. So it's up about 3%, or about 2%. And then, thank God, we get a message from the market. It turns red. Way before we had the collapse yesterday. Way before the Korean scare. And it started to drop, turned red on August 7th, and it dropped from $248 to $243. So, how nice. So as it went up about 2%, she dropped 2%. So that meant we had a chance to sell, to take our profits and to turn around and sell the S&P short. The exchange traded fund, the 500. The beautiful thing about the spiders, not only do you save money, not only is the cost, if you compare, I always tell you, if you compare the cost, and cost is everything. When you're investing in stocks, it's cost. It's all about fees. That's the most important thing. And for every $100 you invest, and if you're in the spiders, it costs you about 14 cents. Compared to the 401k, that costs you about $3.10 for every $100 you invest in. It's crazy. But the key is we had an advance notice. Now here's another thing, the banks. You always got to watch the banks. Well, guess when we started to learn that the banks all of a sudden started to fall apart? We started to notice that on July 28th or July 26th. July 26th, we could see the institutions pulling out money out of the banks. So we're saying, wait, what's going on here? See, so they knew on July 26th what was going to be happening yesterday. That was the big day, the pullback that was on August 10th. See, and that's how Wall Street works. The insiders, the big boys, knew on July 26th what was going on or what was going to happen on August 10th. So you were prepared not only to take your profits out of your bank stocks before you lost it all, but you were also prepared to sell the stock short by simply pushing a little button when it turns red and it says sell short. How great is that? There are so many advantages of selling stock short, and people don't use it. It's crazy. Here, give me an example. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo dropped from $55.53 down to $51.90. Now, that's about a 6% drop that you could participate. Instead of losing that money, you made more money. You made that money because you could short it. And everybody's so afraid of shorting stocks. It's like this big taboo. I always tell you, don't short money, don't short stocks, don't short stocks. And if you're in a 401k, you can't short. But guess what? You can short the banks if you're in an exchange-traded fund and make money on the way down. There's two ways. Look at the market. Stocks go up and stocks go down. But 99% of the people do not ever sell a stock short because they're told from the first day they get into the stock market by the jibber jabbers, the brokers, and don't ever sell a stock short. Oh, that's dangerous. No, the reason they don't want you to sell a stock short because they don't make as much money because you're selling a stock. Remember, they make their money not on performance, but how much money is in the fund. So if you're in an exchange-traded fund and it starts going down, they would tell you, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Stay in. Are you nuts? You got to know how to make money. When the market goes down, you got to be making money on the way down. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil's Gang and Choice Trade are separate and unrelated companies. Choice Trade does not provide any investment advice or recommend or endorse any particular security or investment strategy. At philsgang.com, we're always striving to understand our members' needs. And for over 18 years, philsgang.com has met the goals to educate and inform investors how to make the most of your money and your choices. That's why Phil Grandy and philsgang.com has teamed up with Choice Trade, a leading online broker for stocks and options. Choice Trade has received 4 stars 6 times from Barron's in their annual survey of online brokers. Bill Grandy at philsgang.com recommends Choice Trade as your online broker. For more information on Phil's Gang and opening an account with Choice Trade, go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Vest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Vest is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart as low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. in addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
PhilsGang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? PhilsGang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the PhilsGang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to PhilsGang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Are you an investor or considering investing in the stock market? At PhilsGang.com, we offer a multitude of comprehensive stock investing services and professional support to our members. With PhilsGang.com, you get professional guidance on basic and advanced technical stock analysis. And just like the pros, you will gain the knowledge to recognize stock buy and sell patterns. Unlike other services available, Phil Grandy and the PhilsGang.com team host daily interactive live streaming investing webinar classes and programs. You get Phil's Gang timely notifications on your phone or mobile device. And all Phil's Gang material is archived so you will never miss a beat. Plus, PhilsGang.com offers the best real-time stock charts for day traders and long-term investors. With clear charts, in-depth reports, and Phil's recommendations, PhilsGang.com makes it easy to learn and monitor your portfolio anytime from anywhere. If you're passionate about securing your financial future, check out PhilsGang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment is brought to you by the MaxVest 1000 stock charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
I don't really see a pullback of any significance really coming because the earnings are doing so much better.
No, that's not why we're not getting much of a pullback. We had this one-day move. I'm not saying it can continue on Monday or Tuesday. We'll talk about that in a moment. No, when the market doesn't continue to go down, it's because this market has been financially engineered to go up, that the plunger team is already set with a printing machine to print the money and to inject the money directly into the bank stocks. You push it into the bank stocks, bank stocks go up, and then all the big boys on Wall Street watch the bank stocks. As soon as they start going up, they start taking their money and shoving their money into the market. That's why you always got to watch the bank stocks. So important. And, you know, where people aren't making money, they're so scared that the market is going to go down when you should embrace the market going down. The market goes down 10 times faster than it goes up. Because when the market goes down, that means the institutions, the big boys, the J.P. Morgan, the Goldman Sachs, all the big boys, they pull their money out. It's like pulling out a support in a house, and it just collapses. That's why stocks go down. And you will know before they pull that support out, because as they pull that support out, it shows up on my chart that I designed, that the algorithms turned red to tell you they're pulling out the support. Instead, you sit there, you see your stocks going down, you call your broker, you call your planner, you call your mother. What should I do? What should I do? By then it's too late. And in exchange trade and in your mutual fund, you are allowed to make money when the stock goes down. Isn't that the dumbest thing? You're not allowed to make money when the stock market's going down. This is even worse. When the market is crashing, you're not allowed to get out. You got to wait till the end of the day. A market could crash 20%. We've seen it in one day. You get wiped out. Where if you're with an exchange traded fund, you can turn around. Not only does it trade every day, all day long like a stock, unlike your rip-off mutual fund, but you can immediately protect yourself and make money on the way down by shorting it. And they even made it so easy for you that if you don't understand shorting, then you can turn around and buy a stock that accomplishes the same thing. Give you an example. Take the Qs, the NASDAQ. Now, it turned red the other day, and it quickly dropped from a high of $144.19 down to a low of 140.80. So when it turned from green to red, so it dropped 3%, bam, just like that. All you had to do is turn around and buy PSQ. So you just put on your chart, PSQ, and it does the opposite. So PSQ went from 38.27 up to 38.49. So it's inversed. So what happens is if you're scared and you just can't get over that hurdle, how do I sell a stock short? How do I make money in a stock going down? I don't understand it. Well, they made it so easy for you that they put in a mechanism where you can buy a stock that is the opposite of the NASDAQ. So if your NASDAQ or your Qs are going down, you just buy the symbol PSQ. How beautiful is that? Same thing with the spiders. When the S&P 500 starts breaking and you get scared and you say, I'm afraid to short, I'm afraid to short. Well, then you just switch to SDS. And as SDS starts going up, you're buying a stock going up. You're feeling comfortable because you're buying instead of shorting. And it's just the opposite. So as the stock keeps going down, this is a inverse that keeps going up. How beautiful. Never should you be in a position that have to worry that you're going to sit there and you're stuck and you can't do anything as the market's crashing around your ears. You should always have great confidence to know you can sleep at night, that you're going to get an advance warning, number one, and that's what the algorithms have done on my stock, my chart, the MV2. The algorithms are set up to follow the money. So when the big boys, as I say, stock markets and individual stocks just don't crash. They just don't crash. It takes time. It's like turning to Queen Mary rather than turning a speedboat. So all you have to do, it's so easy. So just why this market, when it decides to crash, and who's going to make that decision? A very small handful of people. They're the ones who make the bubble go up, and they're the ones who control it. That's called the Federal Reserve, the owners of the private company called the Federal Reserve. They make the decision when to push the stock market up. How do they do that? Because our owners has the printing machine. Our owners, the people who own us, they make the decision when to drop interest rates. Can you imagine? We're giving a private company, not our Congress, a private company the authority with no oversight. They don't have to report to anybody. You have 140 people, shareholders in this company. It's a private company. It's a banking cartel. They decide when they're going to raise rates. They decide when they're going to create a big bubble. And they decide when they're going to let the bubble crash. That's right, they do. And everybody's in there and just buying stocks now, blindly buying stocks. Oh, this is terrific. Look at this. The market will never come down again. Really? You don't think so? Yes, get in and enjoy it. And yes, you don't have to worry at night. You get a good night's sleep because you know with the chart, it tells you, it warns you. It warns you when the money's coming out. And then you just position yourself to make money on the way down. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. Look, I could talk about this all day long, drive you crazy. But it's a way for you You have an option to get out of these mutual funds. And if you want to stay with your mutual fund, fine. You have an option to build your retirement. We have a retirement crisis. And the problem with what's creating the crisis is two things. We are not producing anymore as a country. We are not being our productivity is down because we're not investing back into our companies. We're not putting capital investment back in, and that means we're not creating higher wages, and people aren't outspending, and they're not saving. So we can't grow this economy. So what they're going to do, though, is grow the stock market. And all you got to do is keep your eye on the dollar. And when the dollar keeps going down and down and down, that tells you the truth about the economy. That tells you the truth. And when you see the dollar going down, 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 and you see the stock market going up and up, you know the stock market's being engineered to go up. You go in and start buying the stock market, buy it with exchange-traded funds, baskets, and then you put it on the chart, my MV2 chart. You follow me, and when it starts turning red, we take our profits and get out, and then switch our positions and start shorting. What is so hard about that? What is so hard? It takes 2 minutes a day. 2 minutes a day. You watch at the end of each day, I do a video on the stocks we're engaged in or the ETFs we're engaged in, and you just do exactly what I do. And then we also have in the afternoon, we do an update. We do an update on the 5 stocks that we're in every day, and we do the update on the exchange-traded funds. So we do it right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, an update, and then we do it right after another video, right after the radio show. I mean, takes you 2 minutes. Well, how are you going to get that for $39.95? Nowhere. All right. I want to talk about, they're being critical of the president. Al Gore was on last week on TV, and he saw how terrible it was that President Trump dumped the Paris Agreement. And what a tragedy it was, and how he was killing the environment, and the lies, just insane. The best thing that ever happened with this Paris Agreement is that he killed it, because this was hurting the poorest of American households.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Even the experienced traders and investors need to keep learning to stay ahead. philsgang.com provides educational information about Phil's Gang products and services in many different ways. Daily live webinars hosted by Phil Grandy and technical charting experts help you understand and keep up with today's lively markets. Short videos, investing programs, and up-to-the-minute market alerts help you get up to speed with the market using Phil's Gang MaxVest 1000 stock charting software. We teach you an investing foundation that you seek to take the first steps towards achieving your personal financial goals. Visit philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, that's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
So, what is love? Love is being independent. Love is dancing. At Shriners Hospital for Children, love is a new smile.
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, love is caring for a child regardless of the family's ability to pay. Learn how you can send your love to the rescue at lovetotherescue.org.
Even the experienced traders and investors need to keep learning to stay ahead. philsgang.com provides educational information about Phil's Gang products and services in many different ways. Daily live webinars hosted by Phil Grandy and technical charting experts help you understand and keep up with today's lively markets. Short videos, investing programs, and up-to-the-minute market alerts help you get up to speed with the market using Phil's Gang MaxVest 1000 stock charting software. We teach you an investing foundation that you seek to take the first steps towards achieving your personal financial goals. Visit philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, that's philsgang.com. philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. No sales pitches, no boring seminars, no spaghetti dinners. At philsgang.com, we teach you technical analysis, how to read stock charts, and ultimately how to make money in the stock market. For only $39.95 a month or as little as $1.30 a day, you too can master investing in the stock market. philsgang.com provides daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, plus friendly customer support. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Did you know the stock market is up over 250% in the past 8 years? And some financial experts say we're only in the 8th year of a 20-year bull market. But what if the market takes a downturn? What will happen to your 401k? What will happen to your retirement nest egg? You remember 2008-2009 when your 401k dropped big time. Americans lost over $2.4 trillion, or over 25% of their investments. At philsgang.com, we teach you to keep your investments and to secure your financial future. With philsgang.com, you'll learn how to understand to invest in the stock market and how to keep the profits you work so hard for. Avoid the financial pain. Don't be exposed to losing your retirement nest egg. Take control and secure your investments with philsgang.com. Don't hesitate. Learn, invest, and make profits with philsgang.com. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, 877-600-4264.
Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
I want to thank you for the great job you do. You are the best.
You are a great teacher.
Great show. I really love listening to you.
Phil, keep up the good work.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, the beautiful thing about the gang is we also have a lot of fun. And you can go as far as you want or as little as you want. If you have a lot of time and you really want to be an active investor, we have the best classes, the best teaching. Nobody, and I don't know of anybody, for $39.95 offers the teaching format that we do for people who want to be really active. We have a lot of people who retire. They're young, and they want to do something. And instead of going working a job, they got a beautiful job by taking money and investing it. But again, it's like anything else. You got to know what you're doing. You just don't call some broker because you read something in a newspaper, hear Jim Cramer say something, or tomorrow on Bulls and Bears, those dopes, and just say, "Oh, I'm going to invest because they're doing it." No, I mean it's ridiculous. All you ever hear from those guys, every stock's going up 20%.
I think infrastructure has Home Depot up 20% in a year. Spring break is upon us. It means fast food restaurants are going to surge. McDonald's up 20%. Vodafone is a way to play with. I think it's up 20%.
Boy, when I hear him, Marta has to stop me from writing a check. I want to send all my money to him so I can make 20% a year of my money. Heck, we struggle to make 10%. And we got all the tools and the knowledge, and they're saying 20%, 20%. That's a lie. Sure, some stocks you get it. Look at our gold stocks. Our gold stocks, we made over 100%. But that's not the norm. The norm, if you can make 10% a year on average, put all your stocks together, everything you make, 10% a year, you're doing terrific. Few people can make a 10% return on their stocks. But the key is to keep it simple. Stay with the same 5 stocks as long as they're brand name stocks. It doesn't matter what stock it is. This is not like the old days, as I said in the beginning of the show, where people go to Wall Street to build companies and to borrow money and build these wonderful companies, and people invested. Those days are gone. People go to Wall Street to use it as a casino. So why fight it? You just got to have a better chart. You just got to have the edge so that you know when the casino's leaving with the money. So you leave too at the same time. When you start seeing the dealer walking away or changing cars, don't you want to leave? Sure, you should leave. It's the same thing with stocks. You get a signal when they're leaving. For heaven's sakes. It's just a little simple chart. Okay. But anyways, listen to these crazies. This is nuts. Listen to this. Korea. So remember this, Maxine Waters?
And the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea?
Yeah, sure. Putin's attacking Korea. Now, you can laugh at her. She's gone from a $250,000 house to a $6 million house. Yeah, well, in Congress. How do you do that?
Wow.
How do you do that? Listen to this.
I believe that North Korea is interesting threats to the United States, but I think there's some things that they want from us, and we have to find out whether or not we can work with them.
Well, that's been going on for years. They blackmail us every year. Every year they blackmail us. They do the same thing. They're going to send us a nuke weapon unless we give them rice and grain and equipment and give them billions and billions of dollars and give them our technology. Do you remember Clinton?
North Korea will freeze and then dismantle.
This is 1994.
North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons.
What a lie. That never happened. Bill Clinton gave North Korea more stuff. More stuff. All he did is say, let me see my welfare program. Quadruple it, send it to Korea. It's unbelievable. So did the closet liberal, Baby Bush, same thing. None of these presidents ever have guts to stop this, to stop the blackmail. Now, if you want to make money, and if this Korea starts heating up, which I don't think it's going to, and that's why I told my students the other day, when I said one drop, when this market started to drop, unless you're already in it, do not sell these stocks short. We got to see if we're going to get a follow through, and right now we haven't got a follow through. But you want to watch stocks like Lockheed Martin. You want to see stocks like Raytheon. Now, right now, RTN, Raytheon, and Lockheed Martin, Raytheon is red. It's been red for the last 3 days. Stock's going up, but it's red. See, that's the beautiful thing. Here's the stocks are going up, but it's red. It's telling you, yes, they're going up, but it's not enough money coming in, and the stock could collapse on you. So wait until it turns green. But Raytheon is doing beautiful. Another one is 3LLL, okay? And that's another one that if this thing heats up, you're going to make money. But right now, it's red. It's been red for 2 weeks. So everybody started to jump into LLL. Everybody started to jump in yesterday to Raytheon. And little did they know, money's coming out because they didn't have the chart. The lying is just unbelievable. You know, this Obamacare thing, now it's over with. The saddest thing about the Obamacare deal is that they never, before this Obamacare started, why did they clean up the fraud? They never clean up the fraud in Medicare or Medicaid. Before they do any overhaul of any, clean up the Medicare and Medicaid fraud. $110 billion, and nobody does anything about it. $110 billion could have went to our schools and our roads. No, instead, you let everybody rip us off. 107 health care providers cheated Medicare out of $452 million in false claims. Another 94, and on top of that, another 94. Are you kidding? So 452 million gone. They do nothing about it. This one group in Miami, they ripped off 237 million. Nobody did anything about it. Boy, that drives me nuts. They're pushing through the health care bill, this Obamacare bill. He cuts more than $500 billion in future Medicare spending, affecting hospitals and doctors, affecting the quality of care, in order to claim that the bill was paid for, which was a lie. But no one ever goes after this fraud. This is crazy. When are we? If we could just, everybody's so interested in spending our money, But nobody cares about the fraud. Nobody cares about the fraud because you know why? The people we send to Congress, it's not their own money. It's not their own money. It's our money. They don't care. What do they care? It's just like Al Gore, as I said in the beginning of the show. Oh, last week he was on, the communist there, Bill Maher, a communist. So they got together and they're bashing Trump about getting out of the Paris Agreement. Are you kidding me? The Paris Agreement, that's the worst thing ever. People should send letters left and right to Trump thanking him. Because now we're no longer beholden to the Paris Agreement. Thank God. This Paris Agreement was going to raise energy costs on the very people, the very hard-working Americans that these people like Al Gore says they care for. So you get all these environmentalist type guys like Al Gore and his rich pals who make a fortune on all this environmental stuff, telling us how they're trying to help these people. They're screwing the American people. The cost of electricity was going to screw them. Unbelievable. Low-income families were going to pay more on lighting. They're going to be paying more on heating. Are you kidding? Well, as long as their stocks are going up, I guess Al Gore is making money on that. The Paris Agreement was one of the worst deals ever. And all the big boys were getting rich off of it. All the big boys were getting rich. No more. Look, Trump is trying to do the best he can. And he's got a lot of people against him. He's got the Republicans, elitists. He's got the Democrats. They all want to see him fail. They all want to see him fail. He's not going to fail. He won't fail. He will do a good job for us. But we got to clean the stock market up. So I love it that it goes up every day, but I want to see the market go up for the right reasons. Join my gang, Phil's gang.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.